So, what we learned in the first section is all about when they first started founding the colonies, right? So, the very first colony that was founded by the colonists was Virginia. In Virginia, the colonists first decided to settle in Jamestown. So, because they first decided to settle there, they call this a settlement. Right? So, Jamestown was the first settlement in the colonies. When they got there was already Native Americans who lived in the area. And they thought they were the first people to find this land, but they were not. The Native Indians already lived here. One of them was Pocahontas. Pocahontas was the daughter of the leader of the Powhatan Confederacy, which was an American Indian tribe. Since she was the daughter of the tribe leader, she was able to make sure that there was peaceful relations and peaceful contact between her Native American tribe and the colonists. When they got there, most of them were farmers. They had these big farms called plantations. On the very big plantations, they started making cash crops. Right? What that means is that they didn't just grow enough for them to eat and survive, but they also grew extra of whatever they were growing in their farm so that they could sell it and make money. One example of that is tobacco, right? And another one will be cotton. When they first came to the colonies, they didn't get to just hop up and leave. So when they started they started growing cash crops and having these farms, they were like, hey, I want to start bringing more people over. But those people couldn't just come. They had to make sure that they had permission from King James. So they would have to go and ask King James, can we go bring more colonists to the colonies? And he would have to say yes and give them a boat to get there. After Virginia, there were other colonies that started to be founded. Virginia was not the only colony, it was just the first one. So James Oglethorpe is someone who decided he was going to found the colony of Georgia. Right? He founded this colony so that he could get all of the people who were in debt, which means that they owed people money, out of England before they were put in jail for being in debt. But he had one big rule, and it was that if he was going to save you from jail and your debt by bringing you to Georgia, you were not allowed to have any slaves in the colony of Georgia. He thought he was helping the debtors and that it was only fair that the debtors help him by making sure that no slaves were in his colony and being treated unfairly. Okay, what you're going to do now is you're going to go on the next few slides. They will look something like this. Okay, they're going to ask you questions. So this one says Jamestown was the first. You have two options: permanent settlement in the colonies or American Indian tribe. We just talked about before how Jamestown was in Virginia and it was the first place they decided to settle in the colonies. So I'm going to drag the arrow up here so that it says Jamestown was the first permanent settlement in the colonies. And this way, when I go to look at this, I'll know that that is the answer that you chose. Okay, good luck.